Hello, good evening everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. Welcome to this session. And today I am going to tell you that how to start your communication system. If you are a EC student, then how can you approach to this particular subject? So quickly share the session with all of your friends so that everybody should get. Yes. Good evening, Praveen. So share the session to all of your friends, guys, quickly, because I am going to tell you that what is the weightage of the subject, what is the approach to the subject, how can you be master in this subject, how can you assure the maximum marks in this subject. So everything I am going to discuss. So before starting the session, let me introduce myself. So this is Saket Verma and I am having more than 13-year experience in teaching the communication system EMFT in the field of GATE and ESE. So you can see that I have done MTech from IIT Guwahati as well, and I have got different exam also. So I have mentored more than lakhs of students online and offline. I teach subject electromagnetic theory, so I can bring the experience to I can one session for the EMFT also if you like. And like in this session, I am bringing the communication system and advanced communication system, signal system, and ICT. These are the subjects that I generally teach. And the communication and EMFT by Saket sir, that is the Telegram group name, that is the link of the Telegram group. And you can see that the Monsoon Series we are bringing from the 10th of July, that is the upcoming Monday. And in this particular series, we are going to bring you the give you the concepts as well as the question as a free course. That will give you an edge for your preparation. So from 10th of July, we are going to bring this particular Monsoon Series. So don't forget to subscribe the session. Okay, and yes, good evening, Dodge King. So you can also give a scholarship test if you want to become a part of our paid course, that is Vision Batch. So when you go into our site, you can see the Vision Batch. That is our paid course where you will be getting the complete syllabus in more than 1000 hours, and there will be more than 500 questions in each subject. So that is the complete guidance for GATE examination. In the YouTube we can give you the, because of the limited time, we can give you the small concepts in the form of small concepts and questions, but in the Vision Batch we provide the maximum questions and the maximum concepts. So there is a workshop also that how can you get the under 100 rank in GATE by the BYJU'S sir on the 11th of July at 7:30 p.m. So don't forget to join this session. Now what is the agenda of the today's session? That overview of the communication system, that what are the syllabus and how you should approach to the communication system, the weightage analysis, that in the past 10 years if you will see, then what are the different weightage in every year, how many marks they are asking from the communication system, what are the foundation required to learn the communication system, what should you follow to learn the communication system efficiently for GATE and ESE. Suppose you want to prepare for GATE and ESE, then what should you follow. And another thing is the reference book. What are the different reference book that you can follow, and should you follow the textbook or you should avoid them. These are all things we are going to discuss today. Okay. And if I talk about the communication system, then the communication system will be divided into the number of section. So we have the analog communication. In the analog communication you have amplitude modulation, right? So you have amplitude modulation, and then you have the angle modulation, or you can say the frequency modulation and the phase, where we discuss about the phase modulation and the frequency modulation. So these are the two things that we take care in the analog communication. In analog communication you also discuss about the super heterodyne receiver. Okay, that is the super heterodyne receiver, the third part. This is the third thing that you discuss. And also you can discuss the noise in analog communication, which is not exactly in the part of GATE syllabus, but yes, if you target the ESE, then for ESE you should study the noise in analog communication as well. Okay, then coming to the digital communication, we will go into the in-depth of the digital communication, but I will just write this number of the chapters. So we discussed about the baseband transmission here. Baseband transmission, in which we discussed the PCM, DPCM, delta modulation, adaptive delta modulation, all these things, the time division multiplexing, all these things will be discussed in the chapter of baseband transmission. Phase lock loop is not important for gate. Yes, Om Prakash, any good evening. Phase lock loop is not important for gate, but for ESE it is important. Okay, it is important as in terms of ESE, because basic questions from the phase lock loop can come, and the phase lock loop you should study in the detail in analog electronics, like the capture range, lock range. That is the part of analog syllabus, not in exactly in the communication system. But yes, PLL as a FM receiver is studied in the analog communication. And then this digital communication, we can have the another topic, which is a band pass transmission. And in the band pass transmission, you discuss about the PSK scheme, FSK scheme, QAM scheme. These all are the schemes that we discussed in the band pass transmission. And apart from this, you also discuss the noise in digital communication, where we talk about the probability of error, bit error rate, right, match, filter. So these are the topics that we usually discuss under the noise in digital communication. Okay, so these are the two topics, the broad category of the subject. Now coming to the third one, that is the random variable, random process, and the noise analysis. So this noise analysis you can keep here or you can avoid also, because this is the separate topic. You can say the random variable and random process. Obviously the noise is random in nature, so that's why we kept in this particular category. Now coming to the information theory. So information theory, we talk about the entropy, channel capacity. Okay, entropy and channel capacity, these are the major topic of the information theory, where channel capacity of binary symmetric channel, binary erasure channel, this type of things we discuss. And entropy, and then we talk about the source coding, where we talk about the Huffman coding, Shannon-Fano coding, right? So these are the topics that we discuss, Shannon-Fano. Okay, and now coming to the channel coding. So channel coding, that means you can talk about the Hamming code, linear block code. So these are the topics that you have to discuss under the channel coding, that is Hamming code and the linear block code. So these are the number of topics that you have to cover. Obviously it is looking like a vast syllabus, and it is actually. So but it takes time, to cover this. And if I talk about the communication system, the weightage, so you can see that in the 2022 it is 13 marks, in 2021 it is 16 marks, it is 12 marks, it is 10 marks. So you can see that from the past, in 2023 it is also more than 10 marks. So in the past 4 to 5 years, if I say, then the weightage of this subject has increased. So the weightage over the last 5 years, I can say, including the 2023, weightage is more than 10 marks. So more than 10 marks will be covered from the communication system, right? And you can see the previously also it is not less. It is 9 to 10 marks on an average it was there. So more than 10 marks you can expect, and in this 16 marks came in the 2021, and this year also it is more than 12-13 marks, right? Now as I say that if I broadly categorize the communication system, then the analog communication, digital communication, these are the topics. So you can expect 3 to 4 marks from analog communication, 3 to 4 marks from the digital communication. So in terms of questions, if I say, then the 1 to 2 questions you can expect from the analog communication, again 1 to 2 questions you can expect from the digital communication, and the random variable you can expect 2 questions, and from the information theory you can expect 1 or 2 questions. So if I add all of them, then maximum of 8 to 10 questions will be covered in the communication system. Okay, so 8 to 10 questions you can expect in the communication system, and in the minimum side, it is 6 to 8 questions. In the minimum side, it is 6 to 8. Minimum 6 questions will be definitely there from the subject communication system, and it can go up to the 8 questions maximum in this range, and it can even go to the 10 questions which happened in the 2021. So at most you can expect the 10 question, but it is very rare. So on an average you can say that 8 questions will be definitely coming in the higher side, and minimum of 6. Now, if you want to study this subject, then what should be your approach? Okay, what should be approach? So, study tips for the communication is you need to be good in the subject like a topic like a Fourier transform, convolution, and integration basics, right? That means we need Fourier transform to calculate the bandwidth of any signal, and communication is all about the power calculation and the bandwidth. So if you transmit any signal, then how much power is required and how much bandwidth is required, that is an important part. Secondly, the second part of this is you should be good in the probability like concepts. Okay, because we talk about the probability of error, then definitely it will be a very important role it will play. If you learn the probability concept, Fourier transform, convolution and integration and all, then definitely communication system will become bit easier for you. Second is thorough the concept understanding with the rigorous practice. So you have to practice a lot of questions in the subject like a communication, because you may get many formulas, you may get many concepts. So to remind those, to recall those concepts and formulas, and to give in-depth insight of the communication system. ठीक है, अगर आपको एकदम दिमाग में बैठाना है बोल सकते हो, है ना, तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, बहुत सारा प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा, एंड देन दिस प्रैक्टिस यू कैन डू इन थ्रू द डिफरेंट रिसोर्सेज लाइक यू कैन फॉलो द प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस ऑफ गेट ESE, then you can also follow the previous year questions of ESE EE, that is in the ESE. For the ESE, obviously the question will be easy, but when you solve the previous year question, you will get some confidence. ISRO questions you can solve, and you can have the Canadian book that you can solve for the question practice. Then you can follow some standard textbooks to question practice, and you can give the test series. In your vision batch, we give every day 10 questions as a DPP. So those 10 questions will help you if you are preparing for the communication or any other subject. So those quizzes we give on daily basis, right? So these are the things that you have to do if you want to learn the communication system thoroughly. The practicing the previous year questions is the optimum. Obviously the previous year questions you have to practice a lot, and then topic wise test. Whenever you finish some topic, whenever you start a subject, just go through the syllabus of the test series. So once you go in the syllabus of the test series, you will understand that how much is the syllabus going to ask in the topic wise test. So whenever you finish one part of the syllabus, you will understand that yes, you have to what you have to do, you have to give the topic wise. Once you finish the syllabus of the topic wise test, you can give the topic wise test. Similarly, once your subject is complete, you can give the subject wise test. Make separate notes of only important points of every topic. So that means you have to make the short notes. You have to make the short notes along with the study notes. So whatever study notes you have, whether you are taking online classes or offline classes, so according to that you should make your own short notes, right? Then if I say about analog communication, so we have, these are the topics: amplitude modulation, angle modulation, and the receiver. I told you these are the topics. And if I talk about the digital communication, then the sampling is the topic where we talk about the natural flat top band pass sampling, the quantization, uniform, non-uniform quantization error, baseband techniques like PCM, DPCM, delta modulation, adaptive delta modulation. These are, I said, pulse width modulation, pulse amplitude, pulse position. This is for your ESE syllabus, and pulse shaping, that is the Nyquist criteria for the zero intersymbol interference. These are the topics that you should cover. And band pass technique, ASK, PSK, FSK, these are the topics that you need to cover if you are covering the digital communication. Now if I talk about the random variable and random process, then you have to understand the PDF, CDF concepts, wide sense stationary, strict sense stationary, autocorrelation, power, spectral density and ergodicity, noise analysis, that map criteria, threshold voltage, probability of error, all these things you have to cover under the noise analysis, that is the noise in digital communication. Then Shannon-Hoffman, these are the coding techniques, and Hamming codes, cyclic redundancy code recently added, but no question asked till now in the gate. So still it becomes a very important topic because they have not asked this question from the CRC. So every year it is expected. Okay. And these are the number of books that you can follow, but I prefer, because these many books you cannot follow, so I will suggest you to cover this ProKeys and Simon Hakin, and then Sean series, and BP Lati for overall communication system, not only for the digital, it is completely for the communication system. There is a one textbook came where the analog communication and digital communication both is given. So this is the BP Lati, and I will also suggest you if you are preparing for the advanced communication for ESE, then you should go for the Tomasi book also. So these are the first, second and third, fourth. These are the four books mainly that you should follow if you are preparing for GATE. And suppose you want to make sure about your preparation in the random variable part, then this is the fifth book that you can follow. Otherwise, these are the books I have written for your reference, but it is not that important. Okay, this is not that important. So these are the 5 books that you need to follow. And reason to study the textbook, why you should go through, you will get the increase in depth of understanding. So to increase the depth of understanding which is required if you wish to pursue higher study. Suppose you want to do the MTech or PhD, then the textbook will be obviously required, because you should have that much understanding of the language as well as the concept, so that you can do some research. If you just want to clear the GATE exam, then the textbook is not that much important. It is important because there are some questions directly asked from the textbook, but if you don't have time and if you are having the sufficient resources, like if you are having our course, if you are following me in the Vision batch, in the BYJU'S exam prep, then you don't need to follow the textbook, because I cover the questions of the textbook as well. So you don't need to do so. And improve your reading ability, because obviously you will read the textbook, then reading ability will improve and your confidence will also improve, because you will have a confidence that you have studied. Which book is good for practicing problems? See, there are 2 books I have seen in the market, that is first our question bank that we provide in the Vision batch, which is having the more than 3000 questions. So that is the BYJU'S exam prep. Okay, this is our BYJU'S exam prep practice book that you should have. Okay, this, because it is having more than 3000 questions in the communication itself. In the communication itself, I am saying. Okay, so this is the one of the best book. And the second book you can follow, the Kanodia also you can follow, but there may be some previous year questions of ESE and GATE also, but in our 3000 question bank there is no question of the ESE and the GATE, no previous year question. Obviously the flavor will match, the level of the question will be according to the GATE and ESE, but it is not exactly copy of the previous year question. Yes, so Kiran, I am actually teaching the communication system from the next month. In the month of August, I am having the communication classes in the BYJU'S exam prep app. In the app, I am following this. I am going to take the communication system, right? And for consumes a lot of time, because when you study the textbook, then obviously it will take a lot of time, and if you are having less than a year for the preparation, then you should avoid following the textbooks. And why should you follow to learn the communication effects? What should you follow? So you can follow my lectures. Okay, you can follow my lectures. I provide lectures of communication system in this channel. In the Monsoon series I will provide, so you can follow me for some specific topic. Otherwise you can follow any faculty where you get the more content. Okay, because obviously we will be dealing the 20, 30, 40% of the syllabus, not more than that, because every year we have a responsibility of the paid course or student also in the Vision batch. So we are having limited time for online classes. So according to that, we will provide you the question series. We will provide you the concept series. So you can follow me in this channel. So stay tuned with us. Yes, Monsoon series will start, and in the Monsoon series, I will take communication system, but that will be in the month of August. Okay, in the month of August only. And proper revision and practice of the previous year questions are required, and the topic wise, subject wise test is required. Practice question if you have time to spare, then obviously practice the question from the different resources. I told you that our BYJU'S exam prep, the question bank you have, that you should follow the Kanodia textbook. You can follow these previous year questions. You can follow ESE, ISRO, these questions you can follow. So in this way you can prepare for the communication system. Okay, any question if you would you like to ask? So if you want to prepare communication system, the basic idea is you should have command in the signals and system. So if you want to start a communication system, so before starting communication system, prepare the signals and system first thing. Second, you should start from the analog communication to build the concept in the, or to build the confidence in the, okay, to build the confidence in the subject like a communication, you should start from the analog communication, and first you study the analog communication, and then you go for the random variable and random process. Okay, then you can go for the random variable and random process. So this sequence you should follow. What are the important topics for fiber optics for gate for EMT? So Dodge King for fiber optics, you should only prepare a starting part, that is the light propagation through optical fiber, where we talk about the numerical aperture, acceptance angle, critical angle. Okay, these are the basic types of fiber, like a single mode fiber, multi-mode fiber, graded mode fiber. What are the number of modes? What is cutoff wavelength? Up to this point, there is no need to go into the LED part, laser part, etc. Only these are the topics which I mentioned, that on which principle that optical fiber works, what is the physical significance or understanding of the numerical aperture. These all things are only sufficient for gate EMT in optical communication. Then you can start the digital communication. So this is the sequence to be followed for the communication system. Okay. So guys, thank you for watching this session, and don't forget to subscribe the channel, because I am going to take the question series and the practice series and also the concept series in this particular channel for the communication and EMFT for your preparation of GATE 2024. Thank you.